Let me ask you something, and let yourself feel the honest answer. Where in your life are you almost there, and quietly going a little crazy about the almost? The goal you can nearly touch. The healing that's most of the way done. The project, the relationship, the version of yourself that is so close now you can see the shape of it, and somehow that closeness, instead of feeling like relief, has started to feel like torture. Because when you're far away, patience is easy. The finish is a rumor. But when you're almost there, every remaining inch aches, and the not being done yet starts to feel like proof that something's wrong with you. Tonight, the sky wants to loosen that ache. The moon is a fuller waxing gibbous now, July 24th, 2026, nearly 3/4 lit, riding through Leo, unmistakably close to full and still, calmly, a few nights away. She is the very picture of almost. And she is not anxious about it. This is your moon letter for the long view. Let's open it. Look up tonight, and she's almost whole, a fat, bright waxing gibbous, nearly 3/4 lit, just a curved sliver of shadow left along one edge. To the eye she looks nearly full. If you didn't know better, you might mistake her for the full moon herself. And that's exactly the trap of this phase, isn't it? She's close enough to look finished, but she isn't. There are still a few nights of growing to go. Here's what's worth noticing, though. The moon does not experience these last nights as failure. She isn't lying up there thinking she's behind schedule, or that the shadowed sliver is a defect, or that she should have been full by now. She simply keeps doing the one thing she's been doing all along, gathering a little more light, night by night, at exactly the pace the orbit allows. She can't be rushed to full, and she doesn't try. She trusts the arc she's on. And from where we stand, that near full moon already lights the entire landscape. She doesn't wait until she's complete to be useful. She's been giving light the whole way up. That's the long view the sky is offering. You can be almost and still be shining. You can be not yet finished and already be enough to work by. The energy tonight is patience, but a warm kind because the moon is still in Leo. This matters because there's a cold version of patience that's really just grim endurance. Teeth gritted, joy postponed, life on hold until the thing is finally done. That's not what tonight is about. Leo doesn't do grim. Leo is the heart, and Leo's patience has warmth in it. It's the patience of someone who actually enjoys the becoming, not just the arrival. So the invitation tonight isn't to suffer through the last stretch with your jaw clenched. It's to soften your relationship to almost entirely. To notice that the near full moon isn't waiting to start living once she's complete. She's fully, warmly present at 70%, lighting up the whole sky as she goes. The Leo lesson is that the almost there stage is not a waiting room. It's part of a life. The version of you that's nearly healed, nearly there, nearly arrived is not a rough draft of a person to be endured until the real you shows up. That is you, right now, mid-glow, already worth being. Don't put your warmth on hold for a finish line. Bring it with you up the last stretch. In human design, the sun is in gate 56, the storyteller, and tonight it's the 6th line, which changes the vantage point entirely. The 6th line is the line of the roof. It's the part of us that climbs up, steps back, and sees the whole landscape from above, the long arc, the full shape, the story as a whole rather than the frantic detail of this exact moment. Where the lower lines are down in the weeds, living the story blow by blow, the 6th line is on the roof, watching how it all actually fits together. And that is precisely the medicine for almost. Because the ache of almost there is a close-up problem. It comes from standing an inch away from your own unfinished edge, staring at the gap, losing all sense of proportion. The 6th line invites you up onto the roof. From up there, the gap you've been agonizing over shrinks to what it actually is, one small remaining stretch of a long road you've already mostly walked. Gate 56, 6th line, asks tonight, what does your story look like from above? Not from inside the impatience, from the roof, where you can finally see how far you've already come. So let's look honestly at why almost there is so often the hardest stretch of all, harder, strangely, than the beginning. When you start something, expectations are low, and every bit of progress feels like a win. But near the end, something flips. The finish becomes visible, and the moment you can see it, your mind locks onto the gap between here and there and refuses to look away. The remaining distance, however small, becomes the only thing you can feel. That's the first reason almost aches. Visibility of the goal magnifies the distance from it. The second reason is comparison, but a sneaky internal kind. You're no longer comparing yourself to where you started. You're comparing where you are to where you imagined you'd be by now. And imagination is always ahead of reality. So even real, solid progress feels like lateness because it's being measured against a fantasy timeline that was never real. And the third reason is the cruelest. Impatience quietly reframes slowness as failure. Somewhere along the way, this is taking longer than I hoped curdles into this isn't working or I'm not good enough. And people abandon things at 90% that would have bloomed at 100, not because the thing was failing, but because the almost became unbearable and they read the discomfort as a verdict. Hear this clearly tonight. The ache of almost is not information about whether you'll make it. It's just the specific, predictable pain of being close. It shows up for everyone at exactly this stage, and it means nothing about the outcome except that you're near. So let's take apart the lie at the center of the ache. The quiet belief that nearly full means not enough. It doesn't. And the moon is the proof, hanging right there in the sky. She is not full tonight, and yet look what she does. She lights the entire landscape. She lets you see the path, the trees, the water, the shape of the whole night. At 70 or 80%, she is already doing the full work of the moon. Her not being complete takes nothing away from what she's already giving. And your life is the same, though we rarely let ourselves see it. The nearly healed version of you is already kinder to yourself than you used to be. The almost finished project is already teaching you things, already changing how you work. The relationship that isn't fully where you want it is still, right now, holding real warmth. You do not have to be complete to already be functioning, contributing, mattering. Completion is not the moment you switch from worthless to worthy. And here's the piece that impatience most needs to hear. The last stretch is not a referendum on the earlier stretches. The final 10% is refinement, the polishing, the settling, the ripening, not a test you're at risk of failing. And a lot of the growth in this stage is simply invisible day to day. Like the moon, you gain a sliver at a time, too small to notice in a single night, unmistakable across a week. Just because you can't see today's growth doesn't mean it isn't happening. It almost always is. You're just too close to measure it. So how do you actually take the long view tonight, when every instinct is pulling you into the close-up? 3 moves, and they're gentle. First, literally zoom out. Impatience lives in the tiny frame of today. Today I'm not done. Today it's not fixed. Today it didn't happen. So widen the frame on purpose. Don't ask, where am I tonight versus the finish? Ask, where am I this month versus last month? This year versus last year. The moment you change the timescale, the panic loses its footing, because across a month the progress is obvious even when across a day it's invisible. Second, name 3 things that are genuinely further along than they used to be. Not vague reassurance, 3 specific, real markers of movement. The skill you have now that you didn't. The fear that's smaller. The habit that's finally sticking. Say them, or better, write them, because impatience has a terrible memory for progress and a perfect memory for the gap. You have to deliberately remind yourself of the distance you've already covered, or your mind will act like you started this morning. And third, let not yet be a stage instead of a sentence. There's a world of difference between this hasn't happened yet and this is never going to happen, and impatience constantly smuggles the second one in wearing the clothes of the first. When you catch the despair rising, add the one word that changes everything. Yet. I'm not there yet. It's not working yet. Then do the next right thing, the single next small step. And this is the hard, holy part. Let time do the rest. You cannot rush the moon to full by staring at her. You can only keep faithfully gathering light and trust the arc you're already on. Here is your ritual for the long view, and it's about widening the frame. When the evening settles, step outside and find her. The near full gibbous moon, bright enough to look finished, calm about the sliver that isn't lit yet. Stand with her a moment and really take in how far she's come from the thin new crescent of 2 weeks ago, that whole journey, and she never once rushed it. Then bring to mind one thing in your own life that's in its almost stage, the one that's been aching. Name it out loud. Now, deliberately, do what the impatience won't let you do. List 3 specific ways it is further along than it was a month ago. Say each one clearly, 3 real pieces of ground you've already covered. Feel the timescale widen as you do. And then, looking up at that patient, nearly full moon, say the sentence the long view always arrives at. I am not behind. I am on the way. Say it even if part of you doesn't fully believe it yet, because tonight, yet is the whole point. Then let it be. You've done the next right thing simply by remembering how far you've come. Now, let time carry you the rest of the way to full. So, let this be the letter you keep from tonight. Almost is not the same as failing. Almost is proof you're on the way. The nearly full moon doesn't read her unlit sliver as a defect, or her slowness as lateness, or her not being complete as not being enough. She lights the whole landscape at 3/4 and keeps gathering, unhurried, trusting the arc she's on. The ache you feel at the almost there stage isn't a verdict on whether you'll make it, it's just the ordinary pain of being close, and it visits everyone at exactly this point. So climb up onto the roof for a moment and take the long view. You are not behind. You are not too slow. You are not falling short. You are further along than you were, still quietly growing in ways too small to see day to day, and exactly on the way to full. Do the next right thing, and then gently let time do its part. Thank you for taking the long view tonight, and for being kinder to your almost than your impatience wanted you to be. A new letter from the sky arrives every single day, and as the moon slips into her last few nights before full, tomorrow we'll talk about a quieter kind of power, the way you influence the world simply by who you're becoming. Until then, widen the frame, trust the arc, and walk gently.